do a few minutes of just kind of dropping in and just seeing how our body is now, today. So just invite you to close your eyes and just drop into your breath. And just noticing the rise and the fall of the breath. And if there's any tightness or any tension in your body as you dial more into it in this moment, just invite you to use the out breath just to let go of any stress, any tension, anything that might be holding you back from being even more fully present here in this space with us. You might want to do like a little sigh or a sound on your exhale. It's a beautiful way to reset the body. And on your next in-breath, I just invite you to breathe in, invite in new light, new energy in through that breath, filling the belly, expanding the ribs, and also rising up into the chest, into the heart. And just allow that just to reset you and connect you in with whatever is alive in the body in this moment. Just do like a little scan through the body. If you notice any areas that are holding tension, perhaps in the shoulders, perhaps in some other part of the body, the jaw, it's a common other place we store tension. So if you're noticing any areas of tension, just see if you can bring a little bit of movement to that part of the body. And if there's any busyness in the mind, just any moment you notice the busyness of the mind, just see if you can actually use the mind to kind of steer the focus in towards the breath, so that you're then bringing it in to focus on centering focal point through the breath. And still inviting new life force through each in-breath, and just releasing, letting go of anything on the exhale that might need to be let go of. And now just take a moment just to ground your energy just by becoming aware of the contact with the earth and sending a grounding cord down through the perineum, through the base of the body, and letting that grounding cord drop down into the earth, grounding you, earthing you. Just find some way just to have a little stretch of the body, just to bring the body back, opening the eyes, coming back into your space. Okay. Good. Okay. Can I just suggest, if you have your mic on, just maybe mute it for now, just so that way we've got the clearest sound possible. Great. Okay, awesome. So welcome. There is a few less people than we expected, I think because there was something wrong with how the Facebook event went out, or did not quite go out as we had expected, but let us just go ahead anyway, and yeah, let's trust that we were meant to have a bit of a smaller group today than usual. Welcome. Thank you for joining us again, Dan, and Dan's partner, I can't remember your name, but you're super welcome as well. Thank you for joining us. Hey, lovely to see you. And yeah, May, again, good to meet you again. Obviously, we just met in the last few days, and Daniel, welcome for the first time. Thank you for joining us. And so today we are going to be exploring Ankh breathwork practice as this is kind of technically couples practice, but the amazing thing with this practice is you can actually, even if you're just on your own, you can still do couples practice. And how you would do that is you would invite in almost like your energy body twin. And so you almost kind of just visualize this being who is sat opposite to you, and that's going to be the being. So if you are here just, in your own solo space today, then you're going to be working with your energy body and actually visualizing and projecting that out to sit opposite you to do these exchange practices. And then obviously, as and when you have someone around that you want to explore this with, in 3D together, then of course, give this a try together with them. And this video that we're recording today, it will go on the website. So obviously, if there is a point where you want to show this to someone else and say, hey, let's try this practice out together, then you will have a chance to do that. It will be available on the website for sure. And so obviously, Dan, you're with your partner, so super encourage you to try this out together. And we'll do this in such a way so that everyone can join in and participate with it. And recently, I've been trying this out in my own personal solo practice. And I've been having some really interesting insights because obviously, like, as you may know, I work a lot with Isis. So oftentimes each day I'm doing my meditation practice, my Ankh circulation practice, and there's a point where her consciousness will come in and we'll dialogue, and I'll be kind of asking questions about different things, and she'll also be sharing and showing different ways of working with these practices. And so one day I was like, okay, well, so how do I try this shared practice if I'm just on my own? She was like, well, I can come in. So Isis was saying, I could sit in with you and do the exchange practice with you. So if you feel a resonance or a heart connection with Isis, you're also super welcome to invite her into your space if you're just working solo today, and do the exchange with her. And she's super, super happy to do that with anyone. If that sounds like it's not quite going to be your thing, then work with your energy body. And obviously, we all have an energy body, and that is an aspect of our consciousness that is not just contained in the body, but we can project it out and say, okay, energy body, sit opposite to me. You visualize it, you picture it in your mind, and then you start doing the energy exchange. And that also is super powerful and potent. So let's kind of, try these things out. This is very much an exploration. And you may well find some of it totally works for you, and other things you try it out and you're like, okay, I'm kind of getting it. And you might then end up, making another point where you try it with a partner and you feel it even more strongly. So let's give it a try and play with it and see. And if you need to be laying down, then I'm sure Isis would be happy to come up with a way so that you can still exchange regardless of what angle you're sort of laying at. Yeah. So just invite her in if that feels right, and she's going to work some magic as she usually does. So, okay, I want to just start. As some of you know, I love to sing, I love to chant, I love to work with the Egyptian chants, which is obviously something that is not explored very much in the world. We'll often find ourselves at times sitting, say, in a singing circle, but it's very rare that you would hear anybody offer an Egyptian chant. And so in recent months, I've been kind of diving into the Egyptian chants, and I have the perfect one for today. Because the one for today is super simple, and it's all about love. It's tu a tu. So just try that out now. Tu a tu, which means I adore you. Super simple and super, super potent. And so obviously you could chant tu a tu, and that could be you saying that to yourself. I adore you, whatever your name might be. I adore you, Daniel. I adore you, Dan. I adore you, Kia. I adore me. and then we can start expanding that out. So obviously it can be nice to kind of immerse yourself in some adoration first, and then we'll extend that out. So Dan and partner, I would encourage you, when we start this, just do this firstly as if you're saying it to yourself, and then at a certain point I'm going to cue you to do it with a loved one. So obviously you guys can just sit together and look at one another, connect through the eyes, and be singing, sounding that whilst eye gazing. It's going to be a super beautiful way to connect. Those of you that are flying solo today, this is one of Isis's terms. She likes the term flying solo, because flying solo is so exquisitely beautiful. And so if you're flying solo, then the invitation in those moments where I say, okay, invite a loved one in, just feel into who you want to invite in energetically to the space. So that could be someone that you feel a heart connection to, a loved one in some way, and then we can be chanting and saying that to that person. And obviously, since we're on the day of love, we're going to do that for a little while, and we're going to keep extending and expanding our focus. So it might go from sending it to one person to sending it to multiple people to sending it to everyone that we know, and let's just kind of, move through a few layers of that. I want to introduce you guys to a very, very dear soul. This is, come join, come sit. So everybody,
hey guys,
meet Nritya.
Yeah.
She changed her name recently, so I'm trying to still get used to the new name. Nritya. Yeah, is that pronounced right?
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, good. Phew. The NR, I was like, I can't remember it. But finally I'm getting there and remembering it. So Nritya and I were partners last year for about 7 months, 8 months, a little while. And now we are back to being in our sovereign solo containers, but there's still lots of love and appreciation for one another there. So when I was feeling into like, okay, who would I most love to show the couples practice work with, like someone that I know, sort of feels things energetically, and Nritya was a very obvious choice for that. So thank you for joining me. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, guys.
And so we're going to show you, some of the partner practices, and we're also going to show you we'll both be doing the solo practice as well. So we'll start doing solo practice in a bit, and then at a certain point we'll go into partnered. If you're solo, then you can still continue doing the practice, and you're going to be visualizing this extra being in your space that you're going to be working with for that. So obviously it's totally optional who you might want to invite in for that. Some higher consciousness can be great. So let's just do a little bit of chanting, just to connect into the heart. So we're doing Tu A Tu, I adore you. And I just invite you to close your eyes. And we're going to start by sounding that as if we are saying it to ourselves, or even just to our own heart. And obviously find your own note, so that might be a little bit higher or lower than mine. Find your own note, whatever feels good to you. If you can find a note that vibrates your heart, then all the better for it. So you might want to place a hand on your heart, so you can then feel the vibrations of the sound. So let's move now from focusing on ourselves and our own heart, and let's connect in with someone that we love. So that might be someone in our physical space, in our home with us, or it might be someone in the wider world around you. And so you're welcome to invite them in as if they could beam in and be in the space with us. And you're then going to chant this to them.
To
try like a slightly higher or lower note. Invite a few more people into the space. So a few more people we love, let them beam in through your awareness, through your consciousness, or as if you could send your consciousness out to connect in with wherever they are on the planet. So we're doing a little bit of like energy magic, love magic, beaming our love to different people around the world right now. And knowing that there is no physical separation. So on that plane of energy consciousness, we can sound and chant from here and send that to anyone, anywhere in the world. So let's just do one more kind of flip, like flip of the TV receiver. So now we're kind of dialing in to beaming love to all humans, every single human on planet Earth, all at the same time. We are, approximately 7.8 billion human hearts are on this earth today. This is the day of love. And obviously some of us might be feeling very loved, and others might be feeling acutely that we're not loved, that we're not lovable. So let us take this moment to generate and send love to all hearts everywhere. And if you need to kind of breathe with that, like, whoa, that feels kind of big. So maybe take a few breaths into that, as if you could open your wings of light, as if you were an angel, which you are, sent to earth to love everybody that you meet. So in this next round, let us see how much we can beam our love to all hearts throughout the world. To And just taking a moment still with the eyes closed, feeling as if the wings of your heart were open to every human. And as if we could breathe in that beautiful communion with all hearts, welcoming each other's heart wherever it is. Perhaps it's feeling love, perhaps it's feeling pain, perhaps it's feeling any of the many possible emotions that can move through the heart. And can we welcome that? Can we welcome that in ourselves? And can we welcome the hearts of those that we are with, whether they are near or far? So, if you have water, you're welcome to drink water. Do you have water? You can have some of mine if you want.
Thank you, sweet.
Okay. Now, I know some of you have already been around for learning the solo Ankh practice. And now, obviously, I believe May and Daniel, you haven't been there for learning the solo practice, but that's fine. You can still totally, start exploring this through this variation. And you're also very welcome to come join one of the solo practice attunements at another point. They're going to be happening over the coming Sundays, so you've got plenty of opportunities to come back for that. So, this here, if you can see it, this is a very amazing symbol. And you can possibly see some above us. We've got various Ankhs around.
That's awesome.
So this is obviously Ankh with wings, and then it's the Eye of Ra, which is at the top as well. So obviously the eye is kind of denoting, in a way, the third eye, but it's also denoting that connection with whatever you believe in. So you don't need to be, necessarily like an Egyptian devotee in order to explore this. This is actually technology, spiritual technology that is for everyone. And so in a way you could actually see the Ankh as not, it is very much connected to Egypt, but it actually predated Egypt. It was used even prior to the Egyptian dynasties. And as you may know, or as you might be able to see from just looking at it, we have these kind of straight lines, which in a way are a more kind of like angular masculine energy. And then we have the loop. And obviously the loop is very much a symbol of the feminine. So when you bring the two together, you have this beautiful symbol that is masculine and feminine in unity with one another. So you could almost see it as the downward point is the masculine, the upper loop is the feminine, and the cross is the meeting point between the two. It's like the holy union between masculine and feminine. And what I've been finding from exploring this practice recently is that there is a alchemical divine union that starts happening when you work with this symbol as a practice. So what I received, and this is going back about 3-4 years ago now, it was reading a very amazing book which is connected to Mary Magdalene and connected to Isis, a book by Tom Kenyon. And I read that book, and there was a point where I got incredibly strong guidance that said, okay, put the book down and go and sit outside. And it was such a strong voice that I couldn't actually ignore it. So I went and sat outside. And the next words that came were, do the one Egyptian practice that you were taught. And I sort of, thought back through my memory bank. So I was like, okay, well, there was that one that I learned from a dear sister, Shashi, who's been a big Tantra teacher influence in my life, and a dear friend, someone that I've worked with for many years. And she taught me how this was a visualization and energy circulation technique. And it's something that you can do as partnered practice, and it's also something you can do as solo practice. And essentially, if you are mapping it onto the body, let's just kind of get a little sense of that right now. So if you were going to map this shape onto the body, and okay, I might whack you.
Okay. Do you want me to
Do you
demonstrate
wanna-
laying down?
No,
Since you
why
have
not
one
just
person-
move back a little bit? So
Okay.
then you've got, and just move in slightly so you've got space to open your arms.
Oh, you want me facing forward? Okay.
Yeah, probably best. So we're going to demo for you so you can see it. So, and let's all try this out now, just so we get a little sense of it. So the palms, if you start from the level of the heart and then drop the palms down so that they're touching just in front of the sex. So you might need to kind of like, adjust a little bit so that the fingers are down in front of the sex center, touching the ground in front of you. And then on your next inhale, you're going to raise the arms to the level of the heart and open the arms out to the sides as if you had wings that could open. And we do that on a full deep inhale. And once they're fully open, you just hold the breath for a moment and feel the openness of the heart. And as you'll notice, my way of opening my wings is slightly different to Nritya, and that's totally fine. So you're welcome to have the arms up a little bit, or you're welcome to have them straight out. I really prefer the straight out option. Exhaling as if you were gathering an energy ball in to the center. And now we're going to guide that into the heart, and then bring your focus so that it's actually connecting to the back of your heart. You're going to take a little breath, and in a moment you're going to send like a little shoot of air, and with that you're visualizing the energy coming out the back of the heart, over the crown of the head, and coming into the front. So how I would usually do it would be, and so just try that out. You may feel it and you may not. Either way is fine. Yeah, great. You can show them side on. So let's just guide into the heart. A little bit of extra breath if you need it. Use the hands as if you're guiding in. When it comes in, you take another inhale and raise the arms above the head. And then you hold again, full inhale, arms up, as if you're offering this to whatever you believe in. And at the moment after you've offered it, you go into a receptivity, receiving back from the universe. Whenever you need to exhale, it's as if you gather an energy ball above the crown and then guide that down, as if you're guiding it down through the crown. But obviously we can't really kind of use the hands, through the body. So we're just going to guide the hands in front of the body. But really the awareness is in the center of the body. So if I could demo on, just stay there for a moment, Rachel. So it would be almost as though she's doing the hands there, but really the energy is going through the center of the body. Yeah, does that make sense for everyone? Beware that your wings do not knock things in your near vicinity. Okay, so hopefully you get a little sense of that. If anyone wants to throw a question, if you're not sure about anything there, sound could be a little bit louder, says Om. Okay, let me just see if I can dial the volume up a bit more. Where's the volume control? Oh yeah, it's there. Okay, does that sound better? Hello, 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 testing, testing. Better? Okay, better. That's as loud as it gets, so it's gonna have to be that. Okay, so let's just do a couple of rounds of this just so we kind of get a little flavor of it, and then we're gonna start exploring how would we do this either with our energy body, as if we had an energy body in front of us that we're working with, or Dan and partner obviously try this out together because it's awesome. But let's just do this as solo practice to start with for some moments. So again, fingers down in front of the sex center. And if you feel you've got the movements clear enough, you're welcome to close your eyes. Otherwise, just keep them open for now until you feel you've learned the movements. And on your next inhale, raising earth to heart and open your wings. Hold the breath, open heart. Exhaling, gathering the energy in towards the heart. As if you're gathering an energy ball. Guiding that into the heart, attention to the back of the heart. Take a little breath if you need to. Send it through the loop. When it comes in, inhaling, offering, hold the breath, and receiving from that which you believe in. Whenever you need to, exhaling, condensing energy ball above the crown, guiding it down through the crown and hands in front of the body. Back down to ground. And just take a moment just to earth that energy. Good way to ground the energy is just to take a few belly breaths. So it's like we've got that big Buddha belly. And that can really help to ground the energy. Okay, let's just do one more of those. So you get a even better sense of it. Obviously, the more you do this, the more you feel it, the more you feel the energy flow. You might, if you're sensitive to energy, you may already be feeling something. If you're not as sensitive to energy, then it might be that it more just feels like, you know, you're doing a yoga move and you're not necessarily feeling the energy flow. So wherever you're at, just trust that that's totally fine. And just know that the more you explore this practice, the more energy moves. So obviously, you may have noticed that for Nritya, her energy is very sensitive. So she's kind of like, you know, sort of like doing all this kind of stuff because there's a strong energy current that is activating in her body. So, and it feels good, yeah?
It feels amazing.
Feels amazing.
Don't be scared off. It's all good. I'm not having a fit or anything.
She's not having a seizure, don't worry. Yeah. So, yeah.
I'm gonna face. Can I just double check? Is it okay if I face forward now, or do you still want me facing sideways?
As long as we don't whack one another's wings.
Anybody need me to be sideways? You good?
No, I think that's okay.
Okay, cool.
Okay, good. So, yeah, you'll feel it to whatever degree you're meant to feel it. So, let's just do another round of that, just to get another sense of it. Palms to the earth, inhaling, raising earth to heart, open the wings. Hold the breath, open heart, wide open expansion of the heart. Whenever you need to, exhaling and condensing the energy in towards the heart, bringing the palms gradually together. Energy ball building. It's as if we're building the energy up, guiding it into the heart, attention to the back. Take a little breath if you need to, send it through the loop. Once it comes in, inhaling, raising. Arms above the crown, orienting towards that which you believe in, or to universal consciousness, or to the universe itself. And whenever you need to, exhaling, gathering the energy ball above the crown, guiding it down through the crown, through the center line of the body, central channel, back down to earth. Fingers touching the earth again. And just anchor in as though your perineum. So visualize for a moment the Ankh shape actually mapped onto the body. The wings of the cross are at the level of the heart. The downward point is anchoring through the perineum and down into the floor underneath you. And it's a super magical anchor point, because you could send that down through however many floors are beneath you in order to touch the earth and to ground your consciousness again. So in this moment, if you want to ground a bit more, if you feel like that has moved some energy, then visualize that burrowing down through the floors until it hits earth, rock, however far that is below you. And when you breathe in, drawing in some earth energy just to ground a little bit more. Okay, good. So let's now just start exploring, okay, how would we take this and bring it into partnered circulation? And actually, even for Dan and partner, I think it's really good if let's all try it as solo practice first, just so you get a feel for it. And then at a certain point, then I'll invite Dan and his partner to start exploring it together. But for now, let us, let's try this out. So you can get a few different angles. So now what we want to do is almost, you could even have, if you wanted to, have a cushion in front of you. You have an easily grabbable cushion, then grab it. Do you want a cushion?
Okay.
You're good. Okay. She can just visualize it anyway. So we're going to do the same thing, but this time when we raise the energy, we're going to expand it, condense it, and then we're going to actually then send it not just through our own loop, but now imagine there's a person here. We're going to, no, because I want them all to feel it as if. So obviously you're visualizing this being here. This could be your energy twin. For me, what I sometimes do is I'm visualizing almost like the feminine aspect of myself, and I'm doing the energy exchange with my feminine side. And at other points, Isis will just come in, and then I'll do the practice with Isis. So you're welcome to visualize an energy twin, or Isis is very, very happy to do this practice with anyone. So if you resonate with Isis, you're super welcome to invite her in. So what we're going to do, once we've opened wings, condensed it, we're then going to send it as if we're sending out over both crowns, and as if it could go into the back of our energy partner's back. So the energy goes through them, and some of it is just, received by that being as their blessing, and the other part is just going to carry straight on into us. And so for some of you, you might then feel the jolt when the energy comes back in. For other people, you may not feel it. It might just Feel like you're, with your awareness, you're doing that. When the hands come back in, you're like, okay, it's back into me. Inhale again, offering and receiving again, and then we'll guide it back down. So let us try that out now together, as if we had. So let us all, in fact, visualize, and it might help to close your eyes so that you can then picture whether that is Isis or whether that is your energy body twin. And if this is all weird to you, don't worry. Just give it a try and see what happens, because you may really feel it. Like, it can be very powerful, especially if you are sensitive to energy. And if not, it will just feel like you're trying a new thing out, and it might take a little while to really start feeling it. So let us bring the palms to in front of the sex center. On the next inhale, raising the arms to the heart. Inhaling, opening the wings. Exhaling, condensing the energy. Guiding it into the heart. And then if you need to, take a little breath, sending through the loop over both crowns. Letting it come through that other energy, being back into our own heart once it's in. Inhaling, raising the arms. And in your visualization, you're visualizing both you and your energy twin, or Isis, offering this up to the heavens. Whenever you need to, exhaling, gathering the energy, and guiding it back down through the crown, down through the central channel, and back down to earth. So, as you can probably, well, if you were watching us, you can probably see where our bodies are moving at points because of the energy. Perhaps you felt that, perhaps you didn't. Just be at ease with wherever you're at, whether you feel it or not. And let's just do a few more rounds of this just to feel it a little bit deeper, especially if it's new. It's good to just try it out a little bit. So let us do inhale, raising earth to heart, open the wings. Really seeing this energy twin in front of you, or Isis in front of you, arms open, wings open, heart open, feeling the connection between the two of you, exhaling to condense the energy. And this being in front of you is doing the exact same thing, and guiding that energy into the heart. Now you're going to send that through the loop, over both crowns, in through their heart, back into yours. Once it's back in, inhaling, offering that up as gift, and receiving the gift, the blessing from that which you believe in. You may want to stay with the breath held for a moment, just receiving more. Otherwise, exhaling, guiding the energy down. Back down to ground. Let's just take a few breaths in the belly. If there's any excess energy in the body, then just pouring that down through the grounding cord, the bottom point of the Ankh that extends from the perineum between the sex center and the anus, and it extends down into the earth from there. The earth loves to receive any of this excess energy. It's like beaming high vibe love straight into the earth. She totally loves it. And just take some moments just to notice what is moving in your consciousness in this moment. You may notice that it has guided you in to an inner state of awareness, presence. And just noticing that. And just invite you just to take a moment just to again ground the energy earth. You might want to place your hands onto the ground in front of you. Support that. And whenever you feel grounded, then open your eyes and come back into the space. And I'm just curious to know how that was for everyone. So let me just ask you firstly, and then I'll extend out to everyone else. How was that for you?
Super magical. So I was imagining Isis, and thanks to Kia, I was initiated to her before. So it's really magical seeing her from time to time. She was like, oh, hello again. So that was really sweet. She was super happy that I was back. And I just felt like this overflowing sense of love from her and joy for like, oh, hello, you're giving me attention. Yeah, I want to be part of this with you. She got really excited. And then doing this, it was beautiful. Like when I opened my heart was like just so overflowing with joy. And I actually really struggled containing it. Like the more I do this practice, the more like, oh my God, there's like so much, and I don't know how to like bring it all back in. And it gets more and more intense. And I really struggle going at your speed because it's just like
you want to go quicker?
It just wants to go, yeah.
Okay.
So I think I go a little bit ahead of you, especially because the breath, I struggle holding the breath, and I like going with the breath personally.
Yeah.
So I just send it in, and then this is just like, woo! And then the up is just like, again, so much joy, and it's just that celebration of life for me. And then receiving it, I just feel really nourished. But I definitely need a lot of the grounding afterwards, like because it's so easy for me to go up. I really struggle going back down. I know some people are the opposite. So for me, like the grounding aspect is really, really important. Otherwise, it just will go whoosh, 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 and
otherwise you'll float off.
I will float off. Which you
Okay.
guys probably may have noticed. So that's me.
Okay. So let me just check in with all of you guys. So if anyone wants to share, you're super welcome just to unmute your audio, just to share anything, including if you didn't feel it. You know, whatever your experience was is welcome to be shared.
Yeah, I can share for me. I'm really grateful that I read this with you 2 weeks ago because I've been practicing it many times.
Great.
And when I put my hands together, I visualize the Ankh in my hands, the symbol of the Ankh, and I call for Isis to activate the power of the Ankh. And when I raise the hands to open my heart, Isis open inside of me. So I feel her wings, and it's like I'm opening my own angel wings and releasing tension in the back and front of my heart, which I've been feeling for a while on emotional and physical levels. So it's really great to have this spiritual level also with Isis being in me when I open.
Great. Beautiful.
And the same as your friend Lydia, I need to go a little bit faster. It's difficult for me to hold the breath that long, and I like to give it like some feminine flow. So when I bring the arms back together, I thank Isis to bring her magic of healing and balance and harmony in all of my cells to help me heal my body. And before, I was doing the movement like you showed, yes, going with the hands like this. And then last week, you showed at the end also going like this. So I was doing all those movements with my hands, which was nice. But this time, I just visualized it, and I really got what was with the breath. Like I'm breathing out into my heart on this love and balance, and then the end of the breath, I give extra, like this fire breath that is really rolling the ball of light of the top of the Ankh inside of me. And like Isis is having this ball over her head, yeah, which feels like the sun and the moon. So there's this power rolls into me, and when you said to share it with another person, that's really where it hit me. And I had this Kundalini reaction in my body of like, wow, I'm receiving this huge energy back. And I was sending it to my inner masculine.
Yeah.
But with him was Isis. So she comes through me, but as I'm sharing this heart, love, and energy with my inner masculine, Isis is there with him also. So I'm receiving both of them to make me feel more complete. So it was really like, wow. Yeah, like you just said, I just want to go and just go into this, like, just making love with the divine, with the breath, and like really tantric feeling of giving more and receiving more. So thank you so much. That was really powerful, especially I have a lot of pain right now. So I'm using that energy to send up. And then grounding, yes, is I look forward to be able to sit to do this also. So thank you so much, you both.
Great. Okay, awesome. So obviously, the other thing, just to reflect back, like obviously for both of you, you're kind of almost like taking the teaching and you're finding your own way with it. So yeah, for both of you, you're finding that the breath holds are not quite working as well for either of you. So again, like this tool, this practice is it's almost as though there's like infinite variations depending on your body and what works best for you. And so what I keep getting shown by Isis is like, oh, there's this way to do it. Oh, you could also do it this way. You can also do it that way. There's also that way. You could do it as a flow. You can do it as holding the breath, and that helps sublime energy. But you can also do it very much as feminine flow practice. And then it's not about holding the breath at all. It's just about, like going into that kind of flow where it just becomes then like a movement flow. Like she can feel that. Just in there. Love how sensitive you are, honey.
Me too.
So there's all these different ways, there's so many different ways to do it. So maybe let's just hear maybe one more person if you want to share quickly. Let's do another share, and then let's go into exploring it a bit more with other partnered variations.
While there's a sharing, can I just grab a drink?
Yes.
Yeah. I'll be right back.
I'd like to share if you don't mind.
Okay, yeah, go for it, Daniel.
I actually already have a very strong resonance with the Ankh. I normally wear an Ankh myself, but the clasp broke a little while ago. So I've been inspired to get my clasp repaired on that, or find something else that I can steal the clasp from so I can get my Ankh back on today.
Awesome.
But I actually also do this meditation myself. I've never been taught how to do it. It's just something that has happened intuitively. So I do pretty much exactly what you've described.
Oh, wow.
It's just something that has come in the past, and I've naturally just done.
Yeah.
But I've actually been sharing with May. Me and May have been doing some energetic work together, distance energy sharing in the recent past.
Yeah.
So we've been doing this together during your talk, and yeah, it's been really powerful.
Yeah, amazing.
It's really flown really well, and we are communicating with May separately on the phone, and she's feeling it quite strongly as well. So this is a really good shared meditation for us. So it's really nice.
Totally. Yeah, great. Yeah, so I feel like this is wisdom that's like in the collective field. So obviously I've received some strong downloads on it, and there is, other people are also receiving the downloads as well. So it's beautiful to hear that you've already been exploring this in a very similar way. And if you and May are connecting, then absolutely, like, you can do this, even for this session, whilst you're physically in two different places, do the energy exchange together, because it would totally work just as well as if you were in the same physical space with one another. And obviously, whenever you have the chance, then bring it in and, do it when you're in the same space. But for now, for this session, I would encourage you to try it out together and see how that is for you. Yeah.
Yeah, we have been, and it's been really powerful. It's really good.
Awesome. Okay, great. Good.
Charged.
Hi, May.
Very charged,
Okay,
Vivian.
quickly, because I want to move on to the next bit, but go for it. Yeah, give us a quick share.
Yeah. I can just feel like the breath holds, it feels like a time of charging up. And then the share, it feels very direct, very high energy. Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting to see how some people really vibe with the breath holds, and others are just like, yeah, that doesn't quite work for me. And I noticed that I love both. Like, I noticed that it's almost like the breath holds to me feel a little bit more of a kind of masculine approach to it, where, it's like a bit more yogic. It's a bit more like holding the breath is helping to sublime energy. And then I also noticed that the feminine flowy one feels at times like it's activating more Shakti, more energy flow in the body. And so it's almost a thing of like either or. And I would actually encourage you to kind of like play with both, because what I'm finding at the moment is it's almost like day by day I'm doing variations based on like, okay, well, do I need more energy? Do I need to sublime energy? Like, what does this body most need today based on where I'm at and what's most going to support my consciousness day by day. So keep trying it out. Like, Isis seems to be like queen of like, it's almost as though she's like, every time it's like, oh yeah, I've got that one. She's like, aha, well, now try it like this, or now try it like this. It's like endless variations, and it keeps it endlessly fascinating. So, okay, so let us move into trying this out together. So obviously, Madame, if you can come sit in front of me.
Yes, sir.
And Dan and partner obviously try this one out together. And Daniel and May, obviously you're in different places, but you can still continue to explore this one as shared practice.
Do you want me back a little bit?
Maybe back a little bit would be good. Yeah.
I want to be so close. I struggle with the distance.
Are we balanced?
Yeah.
Kind of. Balanced enough. Okay. So, okay. So what we're going to try with this variation, we're going to do 9 rounds. And the first 3 rounds, now, if you're with your partner, or if you're doing this now with a partner, you need to just decide who's going to be the sender and who's going to be the receiver, because we're going to do 3 rounds where one is sending and the other is just receiving. So for the purposes of this demo, I'm going to send first and she's going to receive for 3 rounds. We're then going to do a switch, and then she's going to send and I'm going to receive for 3. And then for the final 3, we're going to do both raising, expanding, condensing, and both sending at the same time. And initially, when I was first taught this, I was more shown this as you both send at the same time. And then recently, Isis was coming in saying, well, the thing is, not all of you are so great, like with both giving and receiving. Like some of you can be, givers, like over givers at times, and not always great at receiving. So actually, it's really helpful and beneficial to do this where you fully feel, okay, let me give and see how that feels. And obviously for the partner, then it's super beneficial to be in that space where all they're doing is receiving. In the moment where the energy is sent, the only focus for them is, let me receive this as deeply as I can. And so it's great training. Yeah.
Just on the, if you're receiving, if you're sensitive to energy, you can still, if you're giving, and you're sensitive to energy, you can still feel energy moving.
Yeah. So we're both so let's just do like a little walkthrough of it, just to give them a sense of it. And everyone can do the walkthrough with us, even if you're on your own today. Let's just do the walkthrough just to get a sense of it. So we would raise again earth to heart and open the wings. Exhale, condense the energy, guiding into the heart, and then I'm going to send, and then Nritya is just going to receive. Both raising, holding for a moment, and then exhaling and guiding it back down. You're so funny. And then grounding the energy. Okay. So, obviously, as you can see, that did move a lot, especially for Nritya. You want to ground for a moment?
I'm good.
So, obviously, if you're so Shani, given that you're solo right now, so when you're doing this one, obviously for these 3 rounds, you can do 3 where you're giving, and you might be doing this with Isis, or you're doing this with your energy twin. If you're doing it with your energy twin, you might be visualizing the masculine aspect of you sitting on the mat opposite. So do 3 rounds where you're giving, letting it flow through them back into you, and then after we've done that, when we go into the rounds where the other person's giving, then again you're visualizing that. So you're still both raising the energy, opening the arms, condensing, and then you're just going into really visualizing strongly, like, okay, this being is sat opposite me, and they're going to send the breath. So let me see that, let me feel that in my energy body, and let me visualize it in front of me as though it was happening. And so it's almost like we're seeing it in the mind's eye. And for some people, even that can be super powerful and potent. And for others, it might not feel quite as strong, but it's still good training for then when you have someone right in front of you to try it out with. So let us do some rounds. Does anyone have any questions at this point, or does that feel pretty clear to everybody? Give me a thumbs up if it's clear.
Can you just show us one more time?
Show you one more time. Sure. Well, we're going to go into these multiple rounds anyway. So let's just kind of try it out by doing, and we'll get it from that, I'm sure. Okay. So fingers touching earth, And if you're with a partner, just coming into eye contact with them. And on your next inhale, raising earth to heart, open the wings. Moment of full openness. Exhaling, condensing. Energy ball into the heart. Take a little bit of breath. One sending. Inhaling, raising. Holding for a moment and exhaling and guiding down. Energy ball through the crown, in front of the body. Back down to ground again. Okay. And then just taking a few belly breaths just to ground and earth the energy. Okay?
Mhm.
Are you good for another one?
Mhm.
Okay. So if you're doing this with a partner, obviously, if you're with a partner that's energetically sensitive, it is good to keep checking in to make sure that they're good to keep going. Because there can be a point where it's almost like so much energy starts moving that you start feeling dizzy. And so if there is like a strong dizziness, like a little bit of dizziness is fine, but if it's strong dizziness, then it's good just to like place the hands on the ground and just take some moments just to kind of like earth the energy back down again before you continue. So yeah, if you're feeling that in this moment, then maybe don't do the circulation, but just take a moment to earth. Otherwise, let us do another round of circulating. So again, I'm going to be giving for the next 2 rounds I'm going to give. So let us raise the energy earth to heart and open the wings. Full inhale, hold the breath for a moment. Open wings, open heart. Exhaling, condensing. Gathering the chi ball. Guiding it into the heart. Take a little breath if you need one. Send through the loop over both crowns. Arms above the crown, connecting to all that you believe in. And receiving energy from that. And whenever you need to, exhaling, guiding it down. And then touching ground. And taking a moment again, belly breaths. You can send the anchoring cord down through the perineum, just to earth things even more. It's a very effective way to ground and earth the energy. If there's any excess in the system, then pour it down through the grounding cord into the earth. And just take a few breaths. Whenever you're ready, then you're welcome to open your eyes if you're with a partner. If you're not, then you don't need to open the eyes. You could just stay with the eyes closed in the visualization. Okay, so final round of me giving and Nritya receiving. And again, on your next inhale, raise in earth to heart, open the wings. Hold the breath. Open to love, open to compassion. Exhaling, condensing, guiding the energy into the heart, and building the energy as the palms come closer together, guiding that into the heart. Take a little breath if you need one, sending or receiving. Inhaling, raising, offering up to all that you believe in. And receiving back from that which you believe in. Whenever you need to, exhaling, guiding it back down through the crown, through the central channel, and bringing the hands back down to the earth, or just grounding through the perineum and that contact of the perineum with the floor, sending the grounding cord down more if you need to, discharging excess energy through that. So obviously Nritya has quite a lot of energy moving, so it's good to just ground all of that back down into the earth. The earth loves this high vibe energy. Good. Are you good to continue?
Yep.
Yep. Okay. Okay, so now we're going to do the switch. So obviously, whether you're with partner or not, we're now going to, if you've been giving for these last 3 rounds, you're going to go into receiving. If you're not with a partner, then I realize this might feel a little bit strange in terms of a shift of consciousness in receiving from your energy double or from Isis. But again, just try it out because it can also be incredibly potent and powerful. Yeah? Okay. And obviously Dan and partner just do the switch, and whoever's been giving, it's now time for you to receive, and whoever's just been receiving, it's now time to give. Make sure you're both, kind of grounded and earthed before you continue. So this stands for everyone in this moment. If you are needing to earth a bit more, then don't feel like you have to keep pace with the number of circulations we're doing. If at any point you need to ground your energy, then please do that. Yeah. So don't spin yourself out from overdoing the practice.
Am I okay here?
Yep. Okay. So, do you want to guide it?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah? Okay.
Can I get it
Right.
slightly quicker?
You can guide it at whatever pace you feel to. Yeah.
Beautiful. So just plug yourself into the earth, and on your next inhale, take a nice deep breath up into the heart, expanding your wings. Holding it. Feeling all the love, all the compassion. Breathing out into a tiny ball, compressing it down. Into your heart. Sending the loop. And sending it up, open to receive. Offering it up into whatever you believe. And when you're ready, bring it back down from your crown. With your exhale through your system, letting it fill every cell of your being. Back down into the earth. Grounding your energy, taking a few breaths. And just letting all that excess energy go deep into the earth, plugging in your roots, plugging in the Ankh. And if you're ready, you can begin to start doing the second round. If you're not, just sit this one out and keep grounding yourself in, checking in with your partner, see if they are still able to receive. Good. So on your next inhale, from the roots, up into your heart, expand your heart to all the love that you can receive and feel and give. Opening your wings, feeling it all in every cell of your being, and on your exhale, bring it into the ball, into your heart, pushing it out, sending it to your partner. And breathing in, sending it up, offering it to whatever you believe in. Receiving all that healing, all that love, all the divinity, and breathing it through your crown, through your chakras, all the way down into your root, letting it integrate to every cell of your being. Grounding it back down through your roots, through the Ankh, into the earth. Taking a few deep breaths, grounding yourself in. Checking in with your body. How are you feeling? How's your energy? Sending any excess energy down into the earth. And checking in with yourself and with your partner to see if you're ready to do another round. And if you are, then I invite you on your next inhale to bring the energy up from the root through your heart. Hold it. Breathing out, compressing it into a ball. Into your heart. And sending it in the loop. Inhaling up, offering it to whatever you believe in. And when you're ready, exhale, receiving from your crown at your own pace, all the way down. Really filling it through your whole system. Grounding your energy back down again. Self-care, checking in with yourself, grounding down any excess energy. And just taking a few deep breaths to integrate, to check in, to ground.
Okay, you good? You grounded?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm feeling very grounded. Is everyone feeling grounded? Is anyone feeling not so grounded? Give me a thumbs up if you're feeling grounded. Yeah. Okay. General thumbs up. Okay, great. Okay, so let's do another round of 3 where we're going to do both raising, expanding, condensing, and then both sending simultaneously. And obviously the one thing just to be aware of is one of you needs to have the arms a little bit more on the outside and the other on the inside. And usually you just kind of, you figure it out in the moment of doing it, usually.
Can I ask something?
Yeah.
When you were doing one giving and the other receiving, when you are giving that extra breath into the loop, is the receiver breathing in? Because logically with receiving I would breathe in, but I noticed when I was doing alone as a receiver, I was just kind of holding a bit. I got the energy, but in the breath I was a bit confused.
So
Because of the reason going with the breath.
Yeah. I mean, in a way, either way works. I noticed that on my side, when I'm receiving it, as it's almost like I'm more focused on just feeling the receiving of it rather than breathing. And then it kind of comes in, and then my inhale then is just the raising of the energy up. So that's how I do it personally, but there's still infinite variation. So if you feel to take the breath in the moment that the energy is coming into you, then you're super welcome to do that. And you could just flow straight into the raising of the energy up. So it's kind of, in a way, it's almost like either or is going to work. And it's whatever would work best for you.
I tend to do that second one where... So for me, I struggle holding the breath. So when I'm receiving, then I'm here, and obviously he's taking his time. What I prefer, rather than taking in a breath and breathing out and then breathing up at the correct time, I feel like I lose the momentum. So I actually prefer, like, as you're breathing out, once I kind of lose the breath, if he's already giving, I'm just breathing it in and then sending it up once I fully receive. So it's like I'm sucking it all in the whole time and then surrendering it up, rather than trying to take an extra breath where I feel like I lose momentum. But it's kind of what works for you.
Yeah.
And it does shift. Like, just trust your intuition, trust wherever you're at with it.
Yeah.
And it does shift as you go along.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, that's nice. Especially interesting alone because at first I did with my, as I shared, with my masculine side and Isis, but then after I did with the camera, so it was with the whole world. So when I gave to the whole world, and so when I received, it was, wow, I received from the whole world and I received from you, sister, giving to him. It was like, woo! Really nice. So, thank you.
Great. Okay, so let's just keep going for a little bit longer because I just want to do this 3 rounds of both sending and receiving.
I'm just going to mute you, love, okay? Cool, you're muted.
Okay. So, if you're with partner, then checking.
Yes. Variation.
Not yet, because we're going to do that at that end. Yeah.
Man.
You can do it on the second one. So there's if you are with partner, so Dan and partner, if you feel to get a little bit closer at this point, you're welcome to. Okay, let's move in a bit closer.
Yay.
So we're gonna go in so that our knees are touching. And so obviously then there's just like a little bit more connection in with our partner. So we're going to do that. Okay, so just make sure that you still have space to get your hands to the ground in front of the sex. And let's just go into this round of 3. She's going to crack up at some point. You can tell already.
I'm sorry if it's disruptive. I can't help it.
It's all this energy, I know. Starts sending people wild after a while. Okay.
Yeah.
Grounded energy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then on the inhale, raising to the heart, open the wings. Holding the breath. Okay, you might need to take another breath because you just lost all of it. Sorry, everyone. Okay, exhaling, condensing the energy in. Directing it into your heart. A little bit of breath if you need it. Raising. If you're with your partner, see if you can keep in eye contact. And whenever you need to, exhaling, guiding the energy down through the crown. Back down through the central channel and rerouting, re-anchoring the energy. Just take a moment to earth. So I feel like Nritya needs to ground a little bit more.
Just give me 1 second.
Yeah, it's okay. You don't need to rush in grounding. So again, it's good, like sometimes you can just see in the eyes, you can see when your partner isn't quite back yet. And other times you can just feel it. And other times it's just good to, verbally check to know. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Back?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Great. Okay, so can you bring your hands into start position? Okay, great. Okay, so again, as long as you feel grounded, everyone else that's listening in, on your next inhale, raising earth to heart, open your wings. And opening to the widths of love. Exhaling, gathering that love in towards your heart. And guiding it into your own heart. Take a little breath if you need one. Send through the loop. Inhaling. Offering and receiving from cosmos. And exhaling, guiding it back down through the crown, through the central channel, in the middle of the body. And letting the hands trace down until you touch back to ground. And just take a few belly breaths. What about, let's do the Yab-Yam variation now. Yeah? Okay, so those that are in a couple, Another variation, I'm going to just show you. So this would be Yab Yum variation. Yeah.
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 So I'm sitting, sorry,
Okay.
he's cross-legged and I'm just sitting onto his lap with my legs crossed behind him.
Yeah.
Basically.
Obviously, this is kind of dependent on this feeling comfortable for you to do. And the one thing to be aware, obviously, if you're in that position, you can't actually get the hands right down to the start position, but you can still start, from somewhere down here, and then we can still open the wings, condense, and then how are we going to do that?
We did it before.
We did it
It
before.
worked.
It all works out usually. So let us just try, and then we'll see. And obviously, for those of you that are solo, then again, you can visualize. So you could invite your energy partner onto your lap, if that felt right. If Isis was there, I'm sure she'd happily sit in most people's laps if you invited her there. And otherwise, just do it as another normal round with that energy double, sitting opposite you. So this is just to show you the variation on it.
Can I say something?
Sure.
So for the ladies, if you're in this position, what I find is if you're energetically sensitive and there's a lot of energy moving, what I find is my knees kind of like grab onto him.
Possibly suffocate me to death.
So just be conscious of that. Like a little bit is okay, but don't
Yeah, don't kill me.
Don't kill him.
Not
But it
live
can-
on Zoom.
But light can actually be really good for balancing yourself, because if your energy is moving, you're using your legs to stabilize yourself rather than just being loose and then falling back. So yeah, just it can be helpful, but be aware not to go We want him to
Thank
be able
you.
to share this with more people.
Yeah, we do. Yeah. Okay, so let's give this a try.
Mm-hmm.
So starting from, so actually it kind of quite naturally, the hands kind of can go like that, and that actually then becomes a really beautiful start position if you're sitting in this way. And again, still eyes connecting. And on the next inhale, raising palms to the heart, open the wings. Hold the breath. Exhaling, condensing the energy in. Guiding it into the heart. A little breath if you need it. And raising. And whenever you're ready, exhaling. And grounding. So obviously that can just kind of set a lot of energy in motion. So it's good just to ground. And little after shudders of movement might happen. So again, if there's any excess energy, you can pour it down through the root into the earth. And it can also be good just to touch your partner's heart. And just kind of, again, like even just that is supportive to help them ground a little bit more. Okay, so can you come off me?
No.
Okay. So let's just take a moment. So obviously we've been circulating a lot of energy. Let's just take a moment just to feel and come back into our own energy space. Just close your eyes. And I just want to do like a little final kind of energy cleansing piece. Now, obviously, when we're exchanging with, it could be a partner or it could be a friend, whoever you might exchange this kind of energy with, it's not likely that you're going to pick something major up, but there can be the possibility of picking something up from the exchange. And so there's a beautiful way just to kind of clear things out so as to ensure that you're not kind of, picking something up from someone that you're sharing this energy with. And so how we would do that is you would visualize just in front of you it's kind of like a sphere-like shaped circle or circular shape of violet flames. And the violet flame is a combination of blue and red, like masculine, feminine uniting to create the violet color. And so we just kind of visualize that in front of us. You might want to do some little circles in front as if you're kind of casting that into the space in front of you. And then you just kind of, with your intention, you just say, if there's anything that might have been picked up from this energy exchange that was not mine and that would not serve for me to keep, then may I, in this moment, just release, clear anything from my energy system that is not meant to be there. So you might want to visually use the hands as if you're releasing things. It might be that there's nothing actually there, but just as kind of general safety protocol, it can be good just to do that so that if there is anything which you may not even be aware that you've picked up, then just doing that little process for a few minutes will just clear, everything that might have got picked up along the way. So let's take a few final moments, and again, if there's anything that might need to be released, it could also be just something in your own system that got activated by the energy exchange. So it's not always a thing of like, oh, I picked this thing up from my partner. It might be that something got stirred in your own self and that needs to be released or would benefit from being released into this flame that is just kind of transforming everything and purifying it and releasing it. So just allow that to find a natural way of completing with that flame. Just giving thanks to that, and just know you can call on that at the end of doing any practice like this, or indeed any healing process that you might be in, as a way of just releasing, clearing anything that may have been inadvertently picked up in some way or risen to the surface and is now ready for release again. And then let us just take some extra minutes now just to re-ground our own energy. So in some ways that can be really good, especially if we've done this as partnered sharing, can be really good to, if you're with your partner, then actually you could, from this point, just simply use this as prelude to lovemaking. So you could actually jump from doing that exchange and just go into, lovemaking and other sharing. But if you're more just, exploring this as practice in practice space, then it's good to actually anchor back into your own sovereign energy field and just reground and reroute your energy. So send your grounding cord, bottom point of the Ankh. Again, we're sending that down through the floor, through any floors that are between you and the physical earth, allowing that Ankh to anchor in to the soil, to the rock, and allow it to burrow down through that rock and soil. And you may even want to visualize roots extending out from the anchor cord, growing out through the earth. If there's any excess energy, again, using the exhale, clearing that, pouring that through the Ankh and through into the earth, through the roots. And on your next inhale, drawing in some of that earthing, grounding energy from the earth, and allowing that to be inhaled up through the roots. And what you might notice, like what I have been noticing in doing this practice recently with the earth, is the earth is actually really like in love with those that would gift such beautiful high vibrational energy to her, which obviously we've been doing at different points. And so you may even feel like there's a love and a gratitude and an appreciation extending up from the earth, flowing through the roots and coming into the body. And so as you're breathing in, invite in some of that love, gratitude and love from this earth. And obviously, the more we do this practice, the more energy we can generate. And whenever we have excess, where do we send it? We can send it into the earth because the earth loves it. We can send it to the heavens and offer it as blessing, as gift to that which we believe in. We can send it through intention to anyone, anywhere on the planet. So, let us just be aware of how we are raising, expanding, cultivating very, very beautiful high frequency energy. And so let us use that, let us use that to benefit others, benefit the earth. So if you feel sufficiently grounded, then open your eyes. Actually, if you don't feel sufficiently grounded, then open your eyes, because the opening of your eyes will help you to ground.